Hi, I'm Sarah Goodyear, co-host of The War on Cars. What you're about to hear is a preview of a special bonus episode of the podcast about a weird old book from 1916 called The Romance of the Automobile Industry. If you'd like to listen to the whole thing, you can get access to this and all our other bonus episodes by going to patreon.com/thewaroncarspod and clicking Support Us. We're an independent podcast, and we really depend on your support. For as little as $3 a month, you'll also get ad-free versions of all of our episodes, early access to tickets for live shows, merch discounts, stickers, a handwritten note of thanks, and the knowledge that you are helping to build this community. On behalf of my co-host, Doug Gordon, thank you so much for listening to The War on Cars. You've probably heard us talking about how we've written a book that will be coming out this fall from TEASER, an imprint of Penguin Random House. We are super excited to share more about that very soon. For now, I want to give you a sneak preview. Or really, I want to invite you to share something that ended up on the cutting room floor. We've spent a lot of the last year in the research and writing process, and what became apparent very soon was that there were a lot of things that we weren't going to be able to fit into the book, no matter how hard we tried to squeeze them in. So I'm going to tell you about one thing I found that fascinated me that didn't make the cut. I was lucky enough to do a lot of my research at the New York Public Library in the main branch on 42nd Street, where they have a program for New York residents who are writing books. You can apply for space in one of the study rooms there, and you can request any book you want, and they will bring it to you, and you can keep it on a shelf there. It's kind of magical, to be honest, and I will be eternally grateful for the resources I was able to access at this incredible public institution. One of the first books I requested when I settled in at the library is one I hadn't heard of before. It's called The Romance of the Automobile Industry, and it was published in 1916. It's essentially a 460-page ad, lavishly illustrated with pictures of bewhiskered white men and their inventions, and packed with information about fuel types and rubber formulas and transmissions. The book's author was a man named James Rood Doolittle, whose main claim to fame seems to be that his father was an influential senator from the state of Wisconsin. The younger Doolittle was an unquestioning evangelist of the automotive gospel. He promoted cars with a kind of religious fervor. You can hear that passion in his book's full title, The Romance of the Automobile Industry, being the story of its development, its contribution to health and prosperity, its influence on eugenics, its effect on personal efficiency, and its service and mission to humanity as the latest and greatest phase of transportation. As you can maybe tell from all of that verbiage, and yes, we'll get to that mention of eugenics in a bit, Doolittle thought cars were an unmitigated good. His praise of the automobile is feverish, hyperbolic. He's eager to ascribe to automotivity any virtue and to absolve it of every sin. The automobile is the most important device ever made by man, Doolittle wrote in the introduction. The real story of the automobile is more wonderful than the fanciful tale of Aladdin's lamp. It is more romantic than Romeo and Juliet. It is more important than the history of anything else in the world.